webinar here at University of Galway. Today's webinar is on our law programmes. I am joined by the Programme Director, Dr. Illan Ryan, and the Recruitment and Marketing Manager, Maria Ryan. I'm going to hand over to Maria for the presentation. On the right-hand side of your screen, you will see a chat and you're welcome to ask any questions that you'll have there. Thank you very much.
Hi all, thank you so much for joining our webinar today. We will be discussing our LLB programme. I'm joined on the call, as Lucy mentioned, by Dr. Illan Wall, who is the Programme Director. So I will provide a brief overview just about the School of Law studying at University of Galway and Galway as a destination as an international student. And then I will be handing over as well to Illan to talk through some of the unique course features and what you can expect from the program. So do you just want to provide a brief introduction, Illan, just to yourself?
Thanks, Maria. Yes, so my name is Illan Wall. I am the Programme Director of the LLB. I also teach on the LLB and on the BCL programme in the law school. I teach land law and equity and trusts. I teach as well on the LLM in criminology and human rights. And my research is on questions around protest and policing. So that's me.
That's great. Thank you for that introduction. So we will get started with the presentation. There will be an opportunity for any questions and answers at the end. So if you do have questions along the way, make sure to pop them into the chat and then Lucy will read them out at the end and either I or Illan will be able to answer those. Lucy will also pop into the chat all of the links for entry requirements and admissions for any queries that are specific to that. So getting started and looking at choosing law at University of Galway. So we have been teaching law since 1849 and the University of Galway School of Law is really, we place a high importance on delivering innovative legal education in a dynamic yet impactful way with high quality legal research. We have a lot of centres of excellence on the university grounds, including a lot of research clusters as well. And a lot of our academics are also completing legal research and working on really meaningful work. So there's opportunities for students to be immersed and surrounded by those high quality legal research projects that many of our professors are working on. The School of Law was also the winner of the law school in 2024. And as I said, there are a number of reasons for awards like that being awarded to the school, as there is a lot of history within our teaching and we like to keep our curriculum up to date and our programs. So looking at some of the School of Law, unique features, we have an on-campus moot courtroom. This is designed to be a simulated courtroom experience. So a lot of our students, including those on the LLB program, have the opportunity to participate in a module that takes place within the moot courtroom. And what this experience really provides our students is the ability to complete legal research, work with other students to research a case and then present that. So they're obviously improving your oral advocacy skills, your research skills, and also your presentation and representation skills. So there are also competitions that take place both at a school and national level. And it's really great to get that, theory learning from the classroom and put it into practice in the moot courtroom. So I will hand you over to Illan, who will discuss the program in more detail and some of the, modules and what to expect as a student.
Thanks, Maria. So the law degree is a really brilliant qualification. It leads in lots of different directions, obviously into careers in the legal profession as judges and solicitors and barristers in Ireland, or trial lawyers and legal executives around the world. The skills that you learn in a law degree are really crucial for a really wide variety of different careers that you might launch into after your LLB, including executive roles in major businesses, in the media and journalism, in politics and government, and in international organizations and NGOs. And the LLB is basically built around developing those skills, developing that knowledge you need in order to effectuate whatever it is you want to do after your time studying with us. Galway, I think Galway's LLB is a particularly good instance of a law degree. I think it's a really good place to study. As Maria said, we have centres of excellence in human rights, in law and business, in criminology, in disability law, and a variety of other things as well. And academics across the school are really engaged in their research, and they bring that research into the classroom. And we're really proud of the way our colleagues can convey that kind of dynamism, that research and those ideas to our students. So the LLB then is this really quite dynamic attempt to provide a foundation in legal knowledge and critical thinking and advocacy skills that ultimately help you think about the relationship between law and society, the ways in which laws are produced, laws emerge from particular moral frameworks, the ways in which they emerge from political problems, and then the ways in which they get put into place and the way they accrete over time. So the LLB empowers you, I suppose, to take part in that process of managing conflicts within society, to take part as a lawyer, as a judge, or in a lot of the other kind of areas in which kind of law will inevitably touch. So in Ireland, the legal profession is divided between solicitors and barristers. Solicitors cover basically everything within the law, within the legal profession. They go from conveyancing a piece of property from one person to another, right through to taking cases in some of the higher courts. And then we have a kind of specialized trial lawyer called barrister, and the barristers focus primarily on appearances in the High Court, the Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court, although they do sometimes appear in the lower courts as well. They're specialist trial lawyers. And so our LLB provides key training to become solicitors or barristers. But as I said, it also provides you skills that you'd need if you were to go on to work in the media or in business or in governmental administration. Our graduates have gone everywhere. They've kind of done everything around the world, including the current president of Ireland is a graduate of the LLB in the law school in Galway. So the key thing to understand about the courses we provide is that there are two different routes essentially within the LLB. There's the 2-year fast track degree, and that provides all of the core modules that you need, all the key skills, all the knowledge you need in order to sit the entrance examinations to either become a barrister or a solicitor. The 3-year module, or 3-year degree provides a little bit more choice. So where the 2-year one is really focused, it's a fast track law degree. The 3-year degree gives you more options, allows you to choose, particular elements like kind of immersive legal education, like mooting, like specialist modules in international law or in corporate governance or commercial law. And so it enables students to shape their degree around their own interests and their own career ambitions. Do you want to take us on to the next slide, Maria?
Of course.
Thank you. So there are a number of unique features to this course. I think probably the most important thing is that this is a kind of a fast track into a legal career. So you can do a 2-year or a 3-year degree following your undergraduate, and that kind of, speeds you into a legal career. Our degree, our LLB, is accredited by the King's Inns in Ireland, which is the regulatory body for barristers, which means that if you do either the 2 or 3-year degree, that you have access to their qualification exams. At the same time, the LLB also prepares you to sit the FE1 exams. These are the exams that you do in order to get access to Blackwell Place in order to train as a solicitor. On top of that, though, this degree also helps you into lots of other jobs as well. So so the majority of our students go on to become solicitors or barristers, but there is a substantial minority that do a ton of other jobs as well. And so while we have this accreditation with the kind of the regulatory bodies in Ireland, it's also really important to see that the degree doesn't just funnel you straight into becoming a solicitor or barrister. We have graduates in the UN, in governments around the world, in courtrooms, and as I said already, the current president of Ireland. So the degree gives you a kind of hands-on legal education. It introduces you to cutting-edge research. There are clinical placement modules where you get to gain experience of how law works in practice. There's moot courting, where you take on real case studies. And then there's a ton of extracurricular activities as well that you can do at the University of Galway. Next slide. Thank you. So Maria suggested that I give you a couple of different examples of the type of module that you might be studying at the LLB. So just to take 3 examples then, I had to choose land law because it's my module at the undergraduate and LLB level. So I guess there are 8 core legal subjects that you need to become a solicitor. Those are contract law, criminal law, land law, equity and trusts, constitutional law, EU law, tort and company. And so land law is one of those key core modules. It's taken by all undergraduates and it's taken by all LLB students. The teaching is across a whole year. We introduce you to all of the kind of key elements within the area of land law. We introduce the way in which land is constituted as a piece of property, how it's owned, the different ways in which land can be owned, the ways in which it can be conveyed, and it needs to be registered and regulated by the state, and so forth. So the LLB provides you that really important core legal understanding of the key concepts within any common law jurisdiction. Second module there is the moot court module. So those on the 3-year LLB get lots more choices, and one of the choices they can make is around the moot court. So the moot court provides, as we've said already, like key skills to help build your confidence around argumentation, around communication, interviewing clients, and understanding the law as it is kind of contested and debated within a courtroom. The third is one which is particularly popular with our LLB students. This is a clinical placement module, which allows you to do an internship for 1 day a week in semester 2 with a local law firm. Our LLB students love this. I think a significant number of them undertake this module. And they love it because it allows them to get a taste of how the law actually works. And they see the everyday working of cases. They see how trials take place. They see the importance of legal research in taking those cases forward. And they see the kind of very everyday phenomena like the paperwork or the filings that need to happen in order for the law to kind of progress in its processes. All the time they get university credit for this real world experience. And that I think also helps students to build their network within legal practice in Ireland, and that in turn helps them potentially with employability afterwards. So the other thing in terms of the opportunities that the LLB provides, we've picked out 2 of them. The first is access to the kind of everyday life of the university, and that Galway's a brilliant university. We have a load of really interesting people who come through and speak about their research or their work more broadly. So the image on the screen here is Michael O'Flaherty, who's the Commissioner for Human Rights at the Council of Europe. He was with us in October. He gave a talk in the Aula Maxa, which is our great hall in the old university. In fact, it's the image behind Maria on the screen there. And he spoke about the challenges facing human rights in the world today. In recent years, we've had people like Mary Robinson, former President of Ireland and former UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, and all-time superstar at the UN. We had William Traynor last year, who is the former Dean of the Georgetown University Law School in the US, speaking about threats to the rule of law in the US at the moment. And so those are the kind of international characters. We also have a whole slew of national and regional figures. So in November of last year, we had Helen Hall, head of the Policing Authority in Ireland, coming to speak to our students. We had Catherine Pearce, who's the Director of Public Prosecutions, who came and spoke again with students on the LLB and BCL. We've had academics coming in talking about corporate responsibility, disability rights, and a variety of other topics. And I think taking part in the life of the university is one of the key parts of an LLB. One other example who I was really impressed with, who's coming, I think, quite soon, is Zelda Perkins. So Zelda Perkins was the former assistant to Harvey Weinstein, the movie producer, an all-round terrible person in the US. So she broke a non-disclosure agreement and exposed systematic abuse within the movie industry. And since then, she's become a leading voice for reform. She's a co-founder of the Can't Buy My Silence group, and has turned this kind of act of personal courage into a global campaign for transforming how we think about power and secrecy and accountability and much else besides. So the next slide has our mooting successes. So 2024 was a real standout year for us in terms of our mooting, 2024-25 that is. This is extracurricular mooting now. So we have a mooting module that students will often take, but also we have students who do mooting outside of the classroom, and they go to a bunch of competitions. In 2024, we won 7 out of the 8 competitions we entered, including the inaugural Nell McCafferty Women in Law Moot, and back-to-back wins in the National Moot Court competition. And I think this shows how seriously we take that, right? Like, it's not just that you'll be doing things in the classroom. You will also be doing a ton of things outside of the classroom, all of which help build towards employability, help build the skills you need in order to succeed in a legal career or something similar. So next up, I think we're going to talk about admission and entry requirements. Is that you, Maria? Or
yeah.
Keep going?
So thanks so much, Illan, for providing all of that insight and detail for the LLB program. It's great, I think, for students to hear firsthand, our prospective students, from the program director. So thank you for all of that detail. Looking at admissions and entry requirements, Lucy will pop all of the relevant links into the chat now for you to have a look over, see if you meet the current entry requirements and the next steps for you in applying to these programs. So, and if there are any specific degree questions with entry requirements, please feel free to reach out or ask any questions via email. And then just something to touch on, because I think it's really important as a potential international student, is looking at the destination of the university. So you've heard about some of the university acclaims, the program structure. But something else that's really important is looking at the destination of the university. And luckily, Galway is one of the friendliest and most charming cities in Ireland. And that has been backed also by Europe for the student friendliness in 2024. And I think everyone on the call would agree that it is a very warm, welcoming student environment. There is lots of culture along the way. We have arts festivals, films, everything like that. And it's also quite a dynamic city. And a lot of our international students then also tour different parts of Ireland once obviously you've got your university work completed, to national treasures such as the Cliffs of Moher, the Wild Atlantic Way, or Connemara. And there really is a lot to do for a university town, and it is that cultural yet intellectual hub. And looking at the proximity of the University of Galway to Galway city centre, it's only about a 10-minute walk. So the campus really is based in the heart of Galway city centre, which a lot of our international students find really helpful because it is such a walkable campus and you're close to everything. And as I said, you really are in the heart of Galway city centre. And looking at our existing student body, there are over 27 nationalities represented in our student body, which makes for a very diverse and inclusive student body. So you'll meet students from across the globe, and it makes for great diversity and opportunities to connect with others. So if you do have any specific questions, you can email lawpostgrad@universityofgalway.ie. We have also recently updated our website. So there are a lot of information about the specific modules that you can have a further read of. You can look at up-to-date student testimonials, and you can really get more of a feel as well, and an in-depth, I suppose, information package on each of the modules. So I will open up the floor to any questions. Lucy, have there been any questions that have come through?
There haven't been so far, but we can wait a few moments to see if people want to have time to type in any of their questions. I've put in all of the links for entry requirements, the translation, and our Your Country page that you can look up for country specific entry requirements, and also the link on for applying as well. So we'll just give you a few moments. Thank you very much. That was really comprehensive, and some really interesting guest speakers there as well. Really picked up my ears when I heard those names. We don't seem to have any. If you are watching this back, also you can take a screenshot of the email addresses, and I know that Maria will be very happy to answer your questions if and when you have them. There doesn't seem to be any questions there. It was a really detailed presentation. So thank you both very much for joining us, and thank you everyone else for viewing us today. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Bye.